Hi, we're going to be playing this game called the Remainders Game, and you can find it from the NRICH website. You can just go to your browser and go to NRICH and then type in the search NRICH bar here, the Remainders Game, or you can access this through Puffin Academy on the iPad. So what the Remainders Game is a game against the computer, and the computer is thinking of a number between 1 and 100, and our job is to figure out what that number is. Now it's going to allow us to choose a divisor, between 2 and 10. And the computer is going to give us some information about it. And the job is that we want to try to guess that number in as few moves as possible. So the fewer divisions that we make, the more points we're going to get. And here how is the point distribution. But right now we're more concerned about developing a strategy for this game and just getting a feel for how to play. So we're going to scroll down, and as you can see that here is the game and how it started. So the computer has thought of a number, and we can divide by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. The first move is the most critical, because if we start out, say if we start out with 100 numbers, and we have to guess what that number is. Well, if we divide by 2, we're eliminating 50 numbers. Well, you know what, 50 numbers is a lot, but that means we have 50 numbers to guess. However, if we ask the computer to divide by 10, it's going to give us some information on 10 numbers that we only have to try to figure out 4. So it narrows our choices down tremendously if we pick a higher number, say 10. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to walk you through a work solution that I have here. And what we're going to do is that when I divide by 10, my first move, the possibilities are this here. It says that when my number is divided by 10, it's going to have a remainder of 8. A remainder of 8. So that hint is telling me that the numbers that the computer is thinking of is going to be either 18, 28, 38, 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, or 98. Now, how I got that is that if I had 10 divided by 10, well, is 1. If I had if I had 18 divided by 10, I would have, it would go in 1 time with a remainder of 8. If I had 28 divided by 10, well, it would go in 2 times with a remainder of 8. And then if I had 38 divided by 10, it would have 3 with a remainder of 8, and so on. So now I've narrowed down my choices. I only have to figure out 9 numbers. I first started out with 99, and now I'm down to 9 numbers. So I've eliminated a lot. I've eliminated the most as I possibly could on my first move. Now, I need to think of what other numbers would be divisible and then try to figure out what I should be dividing by. So what I went ahead, I did is I started to list the factors of 18. I listed the factors of 28, of 38, of 48, of 58, etc. So once I had all the factors listed, the next step I did was I started to look to see which factors did these numbers have in common. And then I highlighted them. In red, I highlighted a 3. And I saw that 3 appears 3 times. In green, I highlighted 4. And I see that 4 is a factor of 28 and 48 and 68 and 88. And then I did the same thing for number 7. I saw that there are 2, 28 and 98 share those factors of 7. And then 8 is shared by 48 and 88. Now, what I've done here is I've narrowed down the possibilities. And now I'm looking at 4 is being shared by all 4 numbers. So I'm thinking, you know what, if I ask the computer, you can see, well, it's divided by 2. All the numbers are divided by 2. Well, I'm not gonna ask the computer to divide by 2 because it won't eliminate any possibilities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try 4. And so when I ask the computer when it's divided by 4, this is what it's going to tell me. For this particular example here, it says, well, the number when it's divided by 4 has no remainder. The remainder is 0. So let's take a look and see how that narrowed down my possibilities. So I need to check which numbers will have a remainder of 0 when divided by 4. So I go ahead and do that. And what I've got here is a list of the factors. Okay, here we go. And now, 18 divided by 4. Does that have a remainder of 0? No, that has a remainder of 2. So 18 isn't a possibility. 18 divided by 4. Does that have a remainder of 0? Yes. Does 38 divided by 4 have a remainder of 0? No, it doesn't. 48 divided by 4. Does that have a remainder of 0? Yes, it does. 58 divided by 4. Does that have a remainder of 0? No, that has a remainder of 2. So I crossed that out. So I went through all of these numbers, all the possibilities that I had, and then I started to rule out. I ruled out it can't be 18, it can't be 38, it can't be 58, it can't be 78, and it can't be 98. The only possibilities left are the ones that aren't shaded. So 88, 68, 48, 28. Okay, so now the computer's number is divisible by 8. The number will have to be either 48 or 88. So again, I'm starting to look at these factors again of which ones are remaining. So 8 is shared by 2 numbers here. 3 is only shared by 1 number, and 7 is only shared by 1 number. And if you look at 68, for 68, the factors here, well, I can't ask the computer if it's divisible by 17. It only allows me to go through to go from 2 through 10. So I can't determine yet if 68 is that number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to see, I'm going to choose 8 because it's shared by 2 numbers. So I enter in, if it's divided by 8, it's telling me that it's got a remainder of 4. So that means that it can't be 48 and it can't be 88. It must be either 28 or 68. So as I walk through the solutions here, there's only 2 possibilities remaining. I've eliminated 48 and 88. And so now I take a look and I ask and I look to see 7. And once again, I can't ask the computer if it's divisible by 17. So I'm going to ask if it's divisible by 7. And if there's no remainder, then the computer's number is 28. And if it says that there's a remainder of 5, the answer is going to be, the computer's number is going to be 68. So I go through here and I said divide by 7. It's going to tell me that it has a remainder of 5. So that means by the process of elimination that the number is 68. So I go ahead and I enter it in, I submit, and I earned 8 points. I could have earned 10 points if I guessed it on, the first couple of moves, which is nearly impossible. So I'm very happy that I scored 8 points on this.